Steve Blumberg for RV Bass here. We came up to a high mountain lake in Oregon to teach you about Ned Rigs. It's going to be quick, down, and dirty. Let's get into it. Hey, they got crappie in this lake. Heck yeah, I'll take a little crappie bite. It's a pretty fish. Thank you. Told you, man, Ned Rig catches everything. Something on there. Hey, we met a Highland bass. Let's see if we can keep on there. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Long and skinny. I just love fishing a Ned Rig on bait casting gear. If this turns out to be the juice though, I will probably switch it over to my spinning gear. Just because this isn't my most high performance BFS gear. GoPros and they're overheating, right? So I pulled into the shade. I ended up tying my Ned Rig onto my spinning gear. While I was coming over here, I got a perch, a bluegill, a couple of little bass. Anyway, I've been catching them, man. This Ned Rig seems to be the juice. So I'm just going to keep throwing it until it's not the juice. There we go. Well, that feels like a decent fish. For up here anyway. I mean, I'm on pretty light tackle. Another Highland Lake bass. Seriously, Ned Rig puts everything in the boat. So if you're new to the game or just otherwise unfamiliar with the Ned Rig, it's basically just ultralight jig fishing. You got a tiny little jig head. This is a 1/32 ounce Ned head. And then I cut down a little 3-inch Senko and put it on the end. This one's super beat up, but it still catches. And honestly, the way you fish this, less is more. I'll just say that. I don't know if you noticed on that last cast, pretty much put it out to a bassy looking area and I let it sink. I think I just got hit on the way down. Yep, I did. Yep, he's there. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second. What we got here? It's a nice healthy perch. Perch do seem to prefer more of a moving bait. But... Thanks, buddy. Alright, so I think before I said you pitch it to a bassy looking area. That's assuming you're fishing for bass. If you're just junk fishing, this is still a great lure, and you just pitch it out to somewhere that looks fishy. And like I did on the cast before, I like to watch my line as it sinks. If you see it jump, you probably got hit, and it's worth checking. But, you know, once it hits the bottom, I just let it be for a little bit. Been on bottom now quite a bit. So I'm just going to reel up my slack. Give it a couple little bounces. Okay, so on that cast, I got a full drop, no line jump, nobody hit it on the way down. Slowly dragging back. I just got hit. Oh, he wasn't there. Or maybe he'll follow it. That was a pretty big movement. Might have scared him away. But what I was just doing is ever so slowly lifting my rod tip. And if you're on the bank or you're on the front of a boat, you know, you can just drag your tip kind of more down by the water surface. Raising my tip's just a little easier right now in the kayak. think I'm going to cast back out there and see if I can get that one to come back. This little 3-inch Senko is beat up. But yeah, I'm going to keep using it. I don't seem to be caring if it's a perfect looking worm or not. Okay, I'm on bottom. Just let it sit for a couple seconds. That was deep enough where I don't have a lot of slack, but I'm just going to take the bow out of the line. Hop, 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 hop. And then I'm going to let it sit. Now you can hop that thing back. You can slow drag it and kind of stir up some silt. You can pop it up and swim it and let it die. Sometimes that works pretty good too. Since they're hitting it on the fall, that could actually be a really good retrieve for us out here. When you're Ned rigging, you want to get it on there as straight as possible. But if it's small, that's fine. You know, sometimes the smaller the better. This really is a very micro finesse kind of presentation. So cutting a 3-inch Senko down to 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches, I wouldn't sweat it at all. You know, Ned rig fishing is a great way to recycle some of your old Senkos and worms. Because, you know, we tear up the front part of those pretty good with our jig heads or whatever we're putting it on. But the tails are still great. You know, so cut that back 3 inches off, use it as a Ned rig bait. I have a whole produce bag full of tails. I just cycle through those, especially on the kayak. You know, when my box gets low, I just grab a handful of those tails, throw them in there. That's not very different than what I'm using right now. I'm pretty sure the next thing I grab out of the box will just be a recycled tail. This thing's barely bigger than the bait. Hey buddy, hey, gentleman. Still lip him. Now that guy's tiny, right? You do catch small fish when you're Ned rigging. But I'm telling you, I've caught plenty in the 5-pound and better class. It catches everything. I've caught trout on this. My boy does a fair amount of Ned rig fishing. He's pretty successful with it. Not every kid is going to have patience for this. They kind of like to chuck and wind. But if you're lucky enough where in the first couple of casts, if they're patient, and then it pays off with a fish, experience is a real good teacher. You know, a lot of the same ways you would fish a shaky head works just as good for a Ned rig. There was a line jump. Yep, there he is. Oh, it's a Highland Lake monster. It's turning the boat. Another decent kayak fish. He's long, he's skinny, he's hungry. Yeah, Ned rig, man, it catches him. Let's let that one go. Thanks, bud. Yeah, if you're interested in checking out some Ned rig gear, I'll put my favorite stuff down in the description there. I'll put some links for you. I'm going to put not only spinning gear, I'm going to put BFS gear. So if you're like me and you have arthritis in your hands and you just can't hold a spinning rod all that long, or you want better accuracy of your casting, BFS gear is really legit, and it's my preferred way to do it. I just didn't quite bring the right BFS gear to do that today. But again, links down in the description if you want to check it out. And thanks for learning a little something about Ned rig fishing with me. Steve Blumberg on behalf of RB Bass. We'll see you.